Hello students, today we will discuss about lipids. Before I start my video, I will request you please do follow, like and share my video. If you are new at this channel, don't forget to subscribe it. As you know, we have started a series of lectures for FSC Part 1. Today my video is just about biology, chapter number 2, biological molecules, and its topic name is lipids.
Lipids,
In the last video we have discussed about carbohydrates. Now we will discuss about lipids, its characteristics, its classification, and then we will discuss about acylglycerol, waxes, phospholipids, sphingolipids, glycolipids, terpenoids, carotenoids and steroids step by step. Let's see what are lipids. Basically, lipids are heterogeneous groups of compounds related to fatty acids. These are insoluble in water but soluble in organic solvents. If we talk about organic solvents, we will see there are so many types of organic solvents like ether, alcohol, chloroform, and benzene. So lipids includes basically fats, oils, waxes, cholesterol and related compounds. So if we talk about lipid solubility, these are hydrophobic, means they repel water molecules. Lipids store high amount of energy just because there are too many carbon and hydrogen bonds present in the lipids. These are acting as protective layers in many animals and as exoskeleton in many plants. Okay, so it plays a much role in protective layer. Its high proportion is of carbon and hydrogen bond and a very low proportion of oxygen. So if we talk about lipids classifications, lipids has been classified as acylglycerols, waxes, phospholipids, sphingolipids, terpenoids, lipids including carotenoids and steroids. Structure of some lipids. About structure of some lipids, we will discuss firstly about acylglycerol. So let's see what is acylglycerol. Basically, it is the composition of glycerol and fatty acid. These are basically esters of fatty acids. These are formed by combining alcohol and acetic acid, and then an ester is formed, like you know C2H5OH. This is the chemical formula for an alcohol, and CH3COOH is the chemical formula for an acetic acid. Both of these two compounds do a chemical reaction and then an ester is formed. C2H5OCOCH3 is chemical formula for an ester, and the water is produced here as a byproduct. Alright, so let's see how triacylglycerols are formed. Basically, the OH is released from alcohol and hydrogen is released from glycerol. For example, if I make it more easier for you, the OH from glycerol or alcohol, this OH, and hydrogen from fatty acid compound. So both of these do a chemical reaction and combine with each other, forming a one molecule of H2O. So one molecule of H2O is formed here. So same chemical reaction takes place between these two hydrogens and hydroxyl groups. and collectively 3 molecules of water are released here. As a result, you can see an ester bond is formed between two chemical, for example fatty acids and glycerol. This is the fatty acid, and this one is the glycerol. So a chemical bond that is called ester bond, this one, it is basically represented as the oxygen between two compounds. So collectively this compound is known as triacylglycerol. Alright, so if you have to draw this structure, firstly you have to arrange glycerol of 3 carbon atoms in the vertical direction and then put 3 fatty acids, for example first molecule of fatty acid and second molecule of fatty acid and third molecule of fatty acid just aside by the first carbon, the first fatty acid group, the second carbon, the second fatty acid group, and at the third carbon, the third fatty acid group. After putting or aligning them in a direction, as you can see, the both hydroxyl groups will be front of them. So what happened next? This hydrogen from fatty acid and this hydroxyl group from glycerol compound react to each other and released as a molecule of water. So oxygen left behind, it will become the point for combining these two molecules with each other. So as a result, triacylglycerols are formed and there are 3 ester bonds present in this compound. Next we will see about fatty acids carbon number. Basically fatty acids contain even number. Fatty acids contain even numbers from 2 to 30. In straight chain attached with hydrogen and having an st group COOH at the end. So they may be contain no double bond. If there is no double bond, it means they are saturated. Saturated fatty acid means there is no double bond between carbon atoms. Alright, so if it is unsaturated, so there is double bond present. It could be 6 double bonds. So up to 6 double bonds could be present there. Solubility, if we talk about solubility of fatty acids, basically solubility depends upon according to organic material. If organic solvents are present, it means they are soluble, or if there is water or any other, it means they are insoluble. So about concentration of solubility or percentage of solubility, if we talk about it, we should say like if the number of carbon is low, at the lowest number of carbon having fatty acid is less soluble in organic solvents, but the carbon number 16 elements, the element that is having a 16 number of carbons is having a maximum number of percentage of solubility. Basically carbon number 2 CH3 COOH. This chemical compound is called acetic acid. Acetic acid, it has two carbons. For example, first carbon is this there, and the second is at this point. So it has two carbons. And if we talk about having four carbons, that is called butyric acid. Butyric acid that has four. So CH3, CH2, CH2, 1, 2, 3, and COOH. So it has four carbons. This is a 4-carbon molecule of fatty acid. If we talk about 16 carbon, that is called palmitic acid. Palmitic acid. So it has 16 number of carbons here. We will draw its chemical formula. COOH, first carbon, then CH2, 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 CH2. How many? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. CH2, 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 6, 7, 8, 9, CH2, 10, 11, 12, 13, CH2, 14, 15, and last one is 16. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this is the basically palmitic acid compound that contains 16 carbon in its chemical formula. But there is a problem because it contains if we talk about oleic acid C18, there are 18 number of carbons present in oleic acid. Oleic acid. So there is basically a double bond present between carbon number 10 and carbon number 9. So this happened. That's why this is unsaturated fatty acid, because there is a double bond present between carbon number 9 and carbon number 10. Fats, basically this fat palmitic acid has melting point 63.1 degrees Celsius. 63.1 degrees Celsius is the melting point for palmitic acid, and butyric acid has melting point -8 degrees Celsius. And the reason palmitic acid contains higher number of carbon atoms, that's why it is easily soluble in organic solvent as compared to butyric acid. Fats containing fatty acids are usually liquid at room temperature and are said to be oils, or the fats containing saturated fatty acids are solids. Animal fats are solid at room temperature, whereas most of the plant fats are liquid. Fats and oils are lighter than water, that's why have a specific gravity about 0.8. They are not crystalline, but some can be crystallized under specific conditions. The next topic is about waxes, because fatty acid lipids has three types: acylglycerol, waxes, and phospholipids. So before I start to discuss wax, I would like to conclude the acylglycerol. Basically, we have studied in this acylglycerol. These are composition of three fatty acids and one molecule of glycerol form an ester bond, and then a triacylglycerol is formed. Then we discuss about the number of carbon atoms and their chemical formula step by step. Then we discuss about their saturation and unsaturation and their reasons, because saturated there is no double bond, and they are unsaturated because there is a double bond, maybe up to 6 double bonds are present. And a comparison about within the fatty acids compounds, palmitic acid has higher number of solubilities with organic molecules than butyric acid. Then we discuss about their physical composition, like which fatty acids are liquid at room temperatures, and some may be in oil and some may be in present in as a solids. So animal fats is room temperature. Animal fats are solid at room temperature, whereas most of the plant fats are liquid. So we have discussed about gravity, that is 0.8. They are not crystalline and cannot be, but some can be crystallized under specific conditions. So let's read out our next topic, that is waxes. Waxes are widespread. Waxes are basically mixtures of long chain alkanes with odd number of carbon ranging from C25 to C35, and alcohols, ketones and esters of long chain fatty acids. Waxes protect plants from water loss and abrasive damage. They also provide water barrier for insects, birds, animals such as sheep. So for next we will discuss about phospholipids. Phospholipids. So is a third classification for fatty lipids. These are derivatives of phosphatidic acid. Derivatives of phosphatidic acid. Phosphatidic acid. Okay. So if we talk about what are phosphatidic acid, these are basically composition of glycerol, fatty acids, and the third compound that is present in phosphatidic acid is phosphoric acid. Phosphoric acid. Nitrogenous bases as choline, ethanolamine and serine are important components of phospholipids. Basically, these are widespread in bacteria, animals and plant cells, and are frequently associated with membranes. Phosphatidylcholine is one of the most common phospholipid. So about the phospholipid, the most important thing is its structure. So let's draw its structure and then we will discuss about its components. So if it is 3 carbon phosphatidic acid, this is the first carbon. So this is the first carbon, the second carbon and the third carbon. Carbon number 1, carbon number 2, carbon number 3, CH2O, and then again CO, maybe R, then CHO, then again CO, R prime. Next, the third carbon is attached with the oxygen again and phosphorus compound, P double bond O and OH, and again OH. This is basically phosphatidic acid. Phosphatidic acid. Okay. If we draw a structure for phosphatidylcholine, that is also called lecithin, we will just draw 3 carbon structure and then CH2O COR CHO COR again, and then CH2O phosphate compound, P double bond O, OH and O. Then at the next point CH2N CH3 because there is a choline is attached with this. It is called choline. Choline is attached with the phosphatidic acid. Now it is called lecithin. Is it clear? Next we will discuss about just this model structure. If we draw a model structure for phospholipids molecule, phospholipid. Okay, so as you know, one head is of phospholipid molecule is hydrophilic. First one is hydrophilic, and second one is hydrophobic. Okay, so this one is containing polar region, hydrophilic region, hydrophilic. Okay, so the next is non-polar and hydrophobic. This is hydrophilic because it contains phosphate, and this is hydrophobic because of containing fatty acids. So at this point our topic for phospholipid ends. Next topic is terpenoids. Here is our next topic, that is terpenoids. Basically these are very large and important group of compounds. Very large and important group of compounds. Second is these are formed by repeating units that are called isoprenoid units. On condensation, terpenoids give us rise to such as rubber, carotenoids, steroids, and the third one is terpenes, etc. Basically lipids are major source of energy. They play a much more important role in structure of membranes of the cell and the organelles found in the cell. It also provide insulation, mechanical support, protection from water loss and abrasive damage. So here our topic for lipids has been completed, because we have discussed its 3 groups. The first one is acylglycerol, the second was waxes, the third was phospholipid, and the last one is we have discussed recently, that is terpenoid. Okay,